Hello, Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday, and this is episode 99 of my tips. Next week, it's the big 100, and I have a plan to give you some of the worst questions, tips, etc. ever given on a cruise ship. That's going to be my 100th episode. Some would say the previous 99 were at least my tips, but when they're not my tips, they're usually pretty good. And that's what these are. By the way, how do you think the beard's coming in? My goal is to grow it out for the year. I put a new picture on my profile on Facebook and loads of people said they didn't recognize me. It's not a bad thing. All right, so who we got this week? I got several tips. First one I've got is from Stephen, my good friend Stephen. And he says, hello, Mick. You already know we love the content and you. As you know, by the way, before I do this, if you're watching this for the first time, I have not read these yet. They're new to me. We're going to read and react. I like the start, though. I love it so much, I'm going to say it again. From Stephen. You already know we love the content and you. Oh, blushing. You wouldn't be able to tell because the beard's covering it. But we'll continue to say it. Certainly want you to make it to 100, so here are a couple of tips that hopefully can help someone there. Number one, many of the ships have a secret deck where you can find a small out-seating area at the forward of the ship. I candidly don't know which ones do or don't, but recall finding one on the Magic. Great place to take in the scenery, pulling in and out of a port. They do. The most common pot. I don't know what the word I'm looking for there. On the Miracle, the Glory, and all those ships, if you go to the front of the ship and basically you go around to the side, don't go into the theatre. Don't go down to the comedy club, which on some of those ships is at the very bottom at the front of deck one. But if you go off to the side, on either side, there's a really cool little area for viewing. And if you know of any secret areas on other ships, I can't picture where the one on the Magic is right now. Totally not saying there isn't one, but I can't picture it. Put it in the comments if you have secret areas you like to go in on the ship. Trust me, 5 people are going to watch the video, so you're not going to give your secret away. Chances of them being on the same cruise as you, not very high. All right. I'm trying to think of anywhere else. I wish the Red Frog was a secret place. It's not, though. I don't really have any. I go to the same places every cruise. Red Frog, Pig and Anchor if I'm on one of the XL class ships or the Vista class. Red Frog. I don't know why it is I go to Red Frog so much more than I do to the Blue Iguana. No. Oh, yeah, that's right. Red Stripe. Although they have started selling it in the Blue Iguana every now and then. I don't know if there's anything to do with seeing me on the ship. All right, carrying on. And don't miss the towel animal takeover. If you love the towel animals, typically on the last sea day, the staff will fill the Lido deck with towel animals. My wife and I like to get up early on that day, grab a coffee and go enjoy them all. Yes, they do. Once a cruise, you'll have towel animal morning, which is great news for some, not so great for others. It's kind of like duck hiding is great news for some, not great news for others. But yeah, you got to get up early because, there'll always be those people that go put their towels out and ruin the picture, or people that get up and sit in those chairs, which is perfectly fine. But you're not getting that great picture of just an empty Lido deck. That's the best place to go, in my opinion. The Lido deck with all the towel animals all around, and they typically put some larger ones at one end of the Lido deck. So get up early, watch sunrise. You get a great picture. I'd like to say I would do that, but the chances of me getting up early, unless I'm planning on a ship tour video, which I do very early in the morning, Cheers package dictates I am not getting up that early. But Julie does, and she loves towel animals. I don't really care. Ooh, boo. See, I like towel animals more than I like ducks. We'll leave that one there. Thank you, Stephen. Keep them coming. A couple there from Stephen. We've got one from Charlie V. I haven't heard from you for a while, Charlie. Here, Mick, have a couple more tips. Given the current state, looks Very in depth, Charlie. I'll have to read this carefully. This is like a big paragraph, not broken down. One big paragraph. Given the current state of affairs with drug-sniffing dogs, I thought it prudent, it's a big word for you, Charlie, prudent, to take pics of my prescription drugs on my phone. I snap a pic of the bottle and I lay one of the pills directly in front of it. So if there are any questions, I can prove that the drugs I have are prescription drugs and legal. Plus, if dog sniffing dogs are any indication. Dog sniffing dogs? Think you misspelled that one, Charlie. We're all thinking the same thing, because dogs do sniff each other. I think you meant drug sniffing dogs, not dog sniffing. It says dog sniffing dogs, Charlie. I'll show you. I'm going to rephrase it for you, because I know you meant drug sniffing dogs. If drug sniffing dogs, not dog sniffing dogs, are any indication, who knows, but in the future, greater examination of our carry-on stuff may be forthcoming. Rather be safe than sorry, I guess. I forgot to mention, this is for those who use the daily, weekly pill dispenser thingy. You can put an I on the end of thingy, but you put drug instead of dog instead of drug. And don't carry the original prescription bottle. In the same light, once we are in our cabin, we put our passports in the safe. We do carry a paper copy of them when we go ashore, but now we also take a picture of them and save them to our phones. May sound like overkill, but it couldn't hurt. Thanks, Charlie V. All right, Charlie, I'm forever going to imagine dog sniffing dogs now on a ship. But yeah, very valid point on that. I don't really have any prescription drugs as of right now that I take, so I can't talk to that. But I guess, doesn't hurt. And to your point on the passport, that's actually a very important thing. It's not a thing that it doesn't hurt. It should be done. Because, and I, up till recently, because we're about to go on a big cruise out to Asia and Australia and New Zealand. So I said to Julie, I said, well, we're probably going to have to take our passports ashore everywhere we go, because if we miss the ship, we could be in big trouble. I saw a post on John Heald recently, and I think I mentioned this on one of my videos recently too. It might have been on the tips one recently. It's been a while since I recorded, so I apologize if this was on like last week, because it wasn't a week ago I recorded it, I promise you that. Anyways, what John Heald said was, always have a picture of your passport on your phone, the passport, the important page with all your information and the passport number and all that good stuff. He specifically said not to take your passports ashore with you. Apparently, in every port, they have people in the port, right, that work for Carnival. If you miss the ship, they will go into your room. This is John Heald's words, not mine. They will go into your room, check your safe if they have to. They can get into the safes very easily if they need to. Take your passport and stuff out and leave it ashore. So there will be a representative ashore. If the ship is gone and you get back, ask for that representative. According to John Heald, they will have your passport and important information there. Do I buy that 100%? No. But then I don't buy anything that's ever said by certain people. Gets me in trouble a lot. But that's what he said. Regardless, always take a picture of your passport page with you. Worst case scenario, if your passport wasn't put ashore, it's probably an embassy somewhere. You could find, let's be honest, the chances of it happening are minimal. I would imagine there's more problems taking your passport ashore, more risk of losing it if you take it ashore, than there is of you not making the ship and getting stuck. But that's just me. So I will not be taking my passport ashore, but I can guarantee you I will have pictures. Thanks, Charlie. Dog sniffing dogs. Dave has competition. Moving swiftly along. Theresa. Theresa's smart. To me. Good day, sir. One tip I wish I had known when I started my cruising journey. I take a lot of pictures on my cruises. When I get home, I just leave them on my phone. A couple of years later, I have no idea where I took them. When you get off at ports, just down the gangway, the Carnival people are trying to take your picture in front of the ship's wheel with the port name on it. Grab a picture of the wheel and you will always know where the next pictures were taken. Perfectly valid. Great idea. What I do is I take a lot of pictures, I take a lot of video, as you know, what I try and do when I get back, so Julie has like 5 million gazillion pictures on her phone. And somehow she can find something from everywhere. I don't know how she does it, but I don't. I have very few pictures on my phone. So what I do is when I get home, I'll plug my phone into my laptop. I'll cut and paste all of the pictures I took onto my laptop. I will go through them and delete the 89% I don't need anymore and keep the 10%. If there's any really good ones I might want to show people, I'll put them back on my phone. If not, they'll go into a folder for videos like these. So whenever you see me doing some of my videos and I'll add pictures at the end, that's what it was from. But yeah, perfectly valid to do that if you want to keep all those pictures on your phone. I know a lot of people like to keep them all. I go with quality over quantity. That's the way I look at it. But everybody's different. I'm not saying that's the way to do it. All right. Oh, we have a tradition. Theresa, I haven't had the tradition in quite some time. My tradition of getting ships signed is about to end because I've only got about 7 or 8 ships left. I have decided I'm going to start getting frisbees. So I've ordered a bunch of blank colored frisbees and I'm going to write on the middle of the frisbee the name of the ship and have everybody sign a frisbee. Because I frankly couldn't think of anything better. We'll go into port and see if we can find something in one of the shops in port on a cruise. If not, I got the frisbee as backup. But Theresa's tradition, my tradition is on every cruise I go to Build-A-Bear and get the white carnival bear and a carnival outfit. I have put on every survey that they should do a ship-specific shirt. I just got off Venezia and they had one. Maybe Theresa, you're the one that started those shirts. I going to be honest with you, I have no idea what you're talking about because do I look like someone that goes to Build-A-Bear? I'm growing my beard like a grizzly. But yeah, I've never been to Build-A-Bear. I did go in there once to get some video of it. I didn't really know what was going on. I don't really understand it. I guess you build a bear. What do you do? Because we were looking down at it on the celebration the other week, and it was a whole rigmarole. The impression I got, and correct me if I'm wrong, so there, yeah, Theresa, what I'll do on my next cruise, which is going to be in Australia on Carnival, I'm going to go to Build-A-Bear, assuming they have it on those, and I'm going to film it. And I'm going to work out what happens. I would imagine you buy like a basic bear and then you pay to add stuff and build it. Kind of like got a cherry on top and getting candy or sweets as we would call them in England. You wait at the end and then you pay them more money. I'm guessing. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong. But I will. I have a challenge now to go to a Build-A-Bear and not have people stare at me like I'm a weirdo, like I did when I went to the Dr. Seuss breakfast. All right, what do I got here? I've got one more, and then I've got my stuff for next week. From Luna. Now, Luna, if you're watching this, you did say you have 3 worst tips for you. So these are what Luna considers terrible tips. I did have a quick look, because next week, I just wanted joke bad tips. These aren't really joke bad tips. They are potentially bad tips. But if you watch next week, you'll see why these kind of don't fit into that. You know, so you'll see. Anyways, I did read these briefly. Well, I actually read the first one and I got the gist of it. I didn't really read the second 2 because I know there's 3 because there's 1, 2, and 3 on here. So anyway, Luna, to end this week, episode 99, almost in the books. I have 3 worst tips for you. Number 1, always book with a non-refundable deposit, especially if the cruise is at least 18 months away. Nothing could change in a year and a half. So what I think Luna's saying in there, you know, don't worry if the deposit's refundable or non-refundable. There's not really many offers out there that are refundable unless you're in a group. There's very few offer codes that are actually refundable. And typically the ones that are refundable have a much higher deposit. So a lot of times, if you're patient and wait, you'll get an offer with $100 deposit. Worst case, you'll lose $100 if you don't go. So that's what I would recommend. I don't really put any thought into refundable and non-refundable. I go with the best offer code. Sometimes the refundable rate is $100 more than the non-refundable rate, or more. So you gotta look at it in many ways. So yeah, so I get that at all. Again, I know some people might want the comfort of knowing it's refundable. Again, with groups, yes, but yeah, there's not many offer codes out there that are refundable. Like casino ones, you can't even transfer anything. Vast, if not all, most of them. If you rebook your cruise to another cruise, so say you're going to sail in June on a ship, and you decide you don't want to do that, you want to move it to June the next year. Don't book another cruise and have them move it. Call Carnival or call your travel agent and have them call Carnival and say, all right, I want to move this cruise to this cruise, a brand new cruise. So basically what you're doing is you're just changing the sail date on the same booking. You'll get less fees that way. Don't have a cruise booked and another cruise booked and try to move it from cruise A to cruise B. Change the date on cruise A is the easiest way to do it if that's what you want to do. And you're less likely to get more fees that way. Number 2, never buy the insurance. Odds are you won't need it. Put that money towards a drink package instead. Now, remember, these are read in reverse. So Luna's saying get the insurance. Not never buy the insurance. I think, most people when they buy the insurance, like me, for example, we just got an annual plan. We never used to get insurance because I was like, I spent so much money on cruises and never needed the insurance. I've saved more money on not paying the insurance to make it worth it if I ever did have a problem. Then I saw somebody posted online their medical bill for being airlifted off of a ship, a helicopter, in a medical emergency evacuation, and it was $94,000. And all of a sudden, I'm like, don't want that to happen to me. So when I look at insurance, I'm looking at it from the worst case scenario coverage. It's kind of like why I have health insurance here. There's no way I'll be paying $1,100 a month for Julie and I to have health insurance, which is what we have to pay, if it wasn't for the safety net of if anything serious happened, those medical bills are covered, So I think that's the way a lot of people would look at insurance. I don't think you're too worried about the cost of the cruise. So my point being, if you travel a decent amount, it's really worth looking into getting an annual travel plan. And if you have any questions about it, I've done a lot of looking into it, and I have a couple of companies I actually use for people. So email me and I can give you, I can't give you insurance advice. I'm not an insurance expert. I can give you advice on how to book it, but I'm not going to give you any advice on the rules and regulations because that's above my pay scale, and I'm specifically told not to say that. Not to say that, not to give you advice because I'm probably wrong. All I can do is give you quotes and how much it would likely cost you and show you what the coverage would be, but I cannot explain what each one is. Legally, I'm not trained. I can just give you the basic info. But we pay, and I see most people paying somewhere, if they typically will do the coverage of $2,500, $5,000, $7,500, and $10,000 on trip coverage. That's for the year, right? So you could pay, if you did $2,500 trip cost coverage, typically an annual plan for two people will cost you around about $350 to $400, right? Now that doesn't sound like a lot of money, and that's for the whole year. So if you did 10 trips, once you've used that money up, that's it, right? But you're not going to cancel 10 trips. The coverage in the background for the medical evacuation, for the medical emergencies and stuff like that, that is the same amount. And that's like $94, or whatever, $100,000, whatever it is. You could look at the plan and see it. That's why you're getting those plans. And that will cover you for the whole year. So if you think about how much money you would spend on Carnival insurance, for example, you could do an annual plan which will cover all types of travel, blah, 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 blah. Think about it. But I do think insurance is very good. I know it's expensive, but think of the worst case scenarios. Don't think about it as, oh, the cruise only cost me $2,000. I could afford to lose that. I'm not saying you could, but in the scheme of things, that's not as huge a bill as $94,000 on a medical evacuation. That could crush you. Email me. I can help you out. not the questions, with how much it will cost you. Number 3, last one of this week. Bet lots of money in the casino, at least an amount equal to the regular price of a junior suite. You might lose, but you'll get a free stateroom for your next cruise, maybe. Again, this is a reverse, because Luna's saying you're not guaranteed to get that. I've often thought about that. I've got a lot of people that I see online swearing by the fact that they go online and they spend $500 gambling every cruise, and they get way more than that in benefits back from Carnival. But according to Luna, that's not guaranteed. So, I've never done it. I can't speak to that. I don't really gamble much. Gamble a little bit here and there, but not a great deal. So, I guess be aware. You're going to get some sort of casino offer. Not like me on my last cruise, because Platinum and Diamond, they used to give you a free entry into the slot and the blackjack tournament. Now they just give you a $25 gambling credit. Right? On some ships, they give you cash, which is stupid. Worst business decision ever. But anyway, so we'll bet that. We'll take our $25 and put that in a slot machine. We're like Huff and Puff. A last cruise, I got 2 points. I had 90 cents in my account when I left. I think you need 1,500 points to get free drinks. So I don't really gamble. So I can't talk to that. But, anybody that does, put in the comments. How much do you gamble to get rewards, and what rewards do you get? If you bet a couple of $1,000s on a cruise, what do you expect to get in return from the casino department, and do you get it? Good question. I don't know the answer. I do know one thing, that you should subscribe to this channel, and then next week you'll get a reminder of my 100th episode, which is going to be a shit show. I've got a welcome to the shit show t-shirt. Should I wear that next week? I don't know. We'll think about it. Anyways, subscribe to this little channel if you would like to get notifications when these videos come up. Hit that little bell and you'll get an email notifying one of my videos has come out. Send me your tips. Send me your cruising traditions. I try and do these every Monday. I don't read them, as you could probably tell. I react as I go. And if you have any questions, please email me and let me know. And with that, get ready for episode number 100 in 1 week, everybody. Get the champagne out. I'll see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.